Today, news about Rana Sahab has been published, and as you know, Rana Sahab is, after all, Rana Sahab. So, in the Express, I think it's basically a translation of that. It must have been published in the Express Tribune in Urdu as well. The duo of Imran Yusuf and Rana Sahab, they also do a program on Express and do Express TV, and it's on a very unique art topic, both of them economy and foreign affairs. So I don't think it gets much rating because this nation hardly has any patience left or has been allowed to have for listening to sensible talk. I just spent 2.5 hours coming via TikTok, and I found out that once again the youth there have been let loose and they're talking nonsense, hurling abuses, barking, posting tweets. I don't know where Karkard where is half they had announced they would take action. Didn't they say we will keep every single picture? Okay, so where did those pictures go, sir? It's all started again, hasn't it? Now, even on TikTok and Insta, those short reels, and now even on YouTube, reels are running. The nonsense has started there too. I mean, even about your own self. And well, Nawaz Sharif and Shehbaz Sharif are used to being abused anyway, even about Mariam Nawaz Sharif. And then the filth that follows. We just raise those our blood pressure, get through it, and move on. But, sir, what I mean is, when this kind of nonsense is directed at a winning person, then a little bit of a strong response is justified, isn't it, sir? You may not ban PTI, but at least put a leash on these mongrels, sir. Or at the very least, tell the nation that these are the filthy, illegitimate offspring of Ajit Doval sitting here. They survive on his money, on his rations, and then abuse Pakistan. These filthy offspring, these scoundrels, are wearing the PTI mask. There is good news for Pakistan from two places. One, which Mr. Shahbaz Rana has also brought, is that the World Bank has said that India cannot annul the Indus Water Treaty, nor can it hold it in abeyance or announce its termination. India neither has the status nor the audacity to do so. If they try, we will throw them to the dogs. And then they explained all the details. So this is good news from the World Bank. The Indians were going around saying, yo, we will annul the Indus Water Treaty. But what did they get? They were told you can't do anything like that, that you can't even talk about annulling or even looking at the Indus Water Treaty. That's your limit. So that's the World Bank. And the second most important thing is that the IMF board has given its approval. India, first through its proxies, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, whose founding leader is currently in Adiala jail, Imran Ahmed Khan Niazi, had done this twice. He wrote letters to the IMF. Once, he had it written by a representative of the KP government. The second time, he had his former chief of staff, Mr. Shahbaz Gil Rana Bajwa, write it. And Shahbaz Gil Rana Bajwa even took hired Afghans and Indians to protest outside the IMF headquarters, And after the protest, these dogs even sat on the ground and gnawed on bones there, right? So they even took them there to protest, demanding that Pakistan should not be given this loan. After that, what did the Indians do? They said, there are 23 members on the board of directors, and the 23rd is India. So if we can convince 13 or even 12, if we can convince 12 or 13, then the rest will not support Pakistan. We will not release the next tranche to Pakistan. Their performance is not satisfactory, so in this way, Pakistan will be ruined. But there was nothing like that. We have already come out of that crisis. Even if we don't get it now, it's not a big deal, but it's a matter of dignity. Otherwise, Pakistan does not have an economic need. All the world's think tanks are saying that Pakistan's economy is now in a better state. So they started lobbying, just like the youth collected zakat, charity, alms, and donations and spent $50,000 per month on lobbying to get Imran Ahmed Khan Niazi released, and all that money was spent. Similarly, India also lobbied, and their ambassador made a great effort. Out of the 23 countries, India was the only one that voted against releasing the tranche to Pakistan. India was singled out. The other 22 countries said, send them the money and give India a bit of a thrashing. If you remember, it was announced on the 9th that Pakistan's loan was approved. The actual receipt came on Wednesday. That is, on Tuesday it happened, and on Wednesday the news came. That is, they said the money is coming. Give India a beating, it's fine. So on the morning of the 10th, we got up and offered the Fajr prayer. Hafiz Sahib made a prayer and said, I have recited the Bismillah and finished. Now you complete the Khatam. And after that, they pressed the button. Now in response, when the Indians pressed their button, nothing happened. It just kept ticking. Well, what happened to their button, brothers? What happened to their What did they say? That the button was fired. Wasn't it the case that India has sent 80 satellites into space? Or Pakistan hasn't even sent one. It has sent nuclear satellites from China. Oh, come on. Here are your 80 satellites. Our mujahideen, our cyber mujahideen, got into those satellites, and after getting into those satellites, they infiltrated your system. And after getting into your system, they just sat there. They didn't do anything, but when you pressed the button for defense on the morning of May 10th, they grabbed the button from inside. Your button became non-functional. The head of Phelan Technology Company is Indian. The head of Phylon Technology Company is Indian. The head of Facebook is Indian. Yeah, right? And so is the head of Google, but we never have anyone in such positions. If we had someone like that, wouldn't he have protected his own country? Right? Pakistan, who knows since when, had already hacked all your systems and kept them tucked away in the back pocket of their pants. All right, on the morning of May 10th, when he finished his prayer in Hafsa, he reached into his pants pocket and said, "Son, which ones do we have?" He had all of them in his hand. He sent the command directly to the boss. Neither the S-400 could take off, nor could any anti-missile system activate. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, brother. Neither the Rafale could do anything, nor could the Mirage do anything. Brother, now they're just left communicating with each other. That is, the plane is flying and it's communicating with its own headquarters. The woman sitting at headquarters has no idea what that powerful pilot is trying to say, and the powerful pilot has no idea what the woman sitting at headquarters is trying to say. So I had given a slight hint, man, on February 27th, 2019. If a person is sensible, if he hasn't drunk cow urine in the village, if he hasn't eaten its dung, if he has even a little bit of brains in his head, then he would understand that, brother, they have gotten hold of something big, something significant. That's why they're strutting around the neighborhood with such arrogance. All right, Dima, this is what we were telling you, that you come from this side. You start it, and then we'll be the ones to finish it. Even then, you still didn't understand what we were saying. This is exactly what we were telling you, that we've already taken hold of your entire system from the inside, and you have no idea. Because when you press the button, the system says, "Yes, brother, where are you?" So right now, all over the world, the Pojit gentlemen, that they call them Pojit. Po means what you do when you go to the washroom and come back after a while. That's called Po. So these Pojit gentlemen are being ridiculed all over the world. The French are going around looking for them. I mean, I've been told that in the streets of France, several Latin Americans, because Latin Americans also eat wheat, so their facial features are similar to ours. Several Latin Americans have been beaten up there because they were mistaken for Indians, since the world is currently thirsty for the blood of these gentlemen from Pojit. They have brought shame to many countries, with France being number one on that list. As for France, its 35-year-old Rafale, which used to have a record and was notorious around the world because of it, now people consider that Rafale a joke. They just have turned the Russians into a laughingstock. All right, you should be aware of this. They have completely dismantled Israeli technology. That's the kind of damage that comes from associating with an incompetent person. After a while, the world also starts to consider you competent. The result of being in partnership with India is that now the world has begun to see the advanced defense systems of Russia, Israel, and France as useless systems that these countries have spent 70 years researching and developing. So what's happening is that any Indian they see in the streets, they just grab and beat up. That's all for now. I'll be back in the next vlog. May Allah Almighty make things easy for you and grant you the ability to distribute ease among His people. And may He grant you the ability to distribute ease among His people.